situation from their perspective. Consider several options before you start to feel offended. After all, being right is not the most important thing in life. Sometimes being happy doesn't include being right. If everyone is open to understanding this, it could change your life. What is the most important goal in your argument? To get your point across and for the other person to be wrong, or to solve the problem with less damage and keep restore the peace? The problem is that people invest more energy in believing that their truth is the only truth. This is not the case. And if you alter your way of listening and reacting, can you imagine how many friendships and relationships will be saved? Admire people who have a distinct view. Your true statement might not be suitable for everyone, and the key is to be flexible. Do not force your views on anyone. Leave space for others' opinions, and do not be so quick to judge. Everyone has a way of perceiving things based on their experience in life. This does not mean that others who have a different view of life are wrong or bad people. It means they see things in a different way. In many instances, when someone has a different opinion or way of living, judging people is wrong. And it's time to realize that. This is urgent because this only divides people. It destroys dreams, causes unhappiness, and discourages strong, healthy relationships. For example, think of all the marriages that can be salvaged. The number one reason people have for filing for divorce is irreconcilable differences. If you come to a crossroads with spouse and you experience these irreconcilable differences, you have also come to a place where it's time to consider what is more important, to lose the person we love and hurt the people close to us, or to be more flexible and try to accept what this person is saying. Few people in life will be as important as your spouse. Honor that. And there is option B. Requires a lot more effort, but learning to do this, you might just change your life for better. Besides, you can always quit later. Might as well make the effort and try changing your perspective first. Perhaps the hardest part will be learning to let go of your ego in order to see more clearly what the other person is saying. Knowing that your truth is not the only truth can be freeing. You do not, you do not have to accept their truth as your own, but you must respect that is their truth. Respecting the differences we all have in life will enrich us as a society. When we are all the same and have the same perceptions, life is bland and boring. Imagine if we all dressed the same, thought the same way, held the same jobs, and ate the same food. Nothing new would ever be invented. Think of all the things we would miss out. It takes two to create a problem, and it takes two to solve a problem. Therefore, it is pivotal for the parties involved to be on the same page. Otherwise, the effort to turn things around will not work. If it's one-sided, both parties have to do the work in any kind of relationship. There should be a mutual agreement established to resolve the differences and find common ground. Take a marriage, for example. If only one person is ready to be flexible and work on the issue, things will not last. When only one person is willing to find a common ground, while the other person holds on their views, one person will be left bending over backwards to salvage things while the other takes advantage of them. This is not true happiness, even if it might fix things temporarily. Remember, one-sided effort never works because eventually the person who constantly compromises will eventually get tired of it. If you find yourself in this situation and the other person refuses to change, it is better to end this sort of relationship because there always be a struggle and lack of harmony. The above example holds true for all relationships, not just marriages. Things will work out if there is a willingness to step out of their established ways and leave space to learn something new and keep it. you're reading this, it is highly likely that you're already willing to change for the sake of salvaging a relationship. Now is a great time to start asking the following question. Is it that hard to be flexible? If we try, what we have got to lose? What do we gain? What do we lose? Can we trigger the change and teach others to do the same? It is vital to remember that every step in this process counts. Changing your perception of a situation might also inspire someone else to do the same. In time, you might be able to evoke the change we are after and have less pain and more joy. Most of the time, there are more than two people involved in the drama. It is like a chain reaction. Going back to the previous example of a married couple considering divorce, they might have children or relatives who inadvertently become involved. These people, especially the children, must be considered. What greater reason is there to change? Another example that can be given, a serial dater, someone who jumps from one relationship to another and never finds the right one. In order to find the right one, you must do the work to be the right one. It is important for everyone to look deep inside himself or herself, evaluate their life, and find love, kindness, and compassion. The universal law of positive attracts positive and negative attracts negative holds true. Find the one is not a matter of luck, but rather a matter of understanding. What you send out is what you shall receive. The people that gravitate towards you are the ones that match your level of energy. You cannot hide your energy or trick the universe. The universe is fair and clear. Even when it comes to events in your life that you have no control over, remember, there is always a reason for it. I recall fondly the times when I was with my grandparents, who were the most down-to-earth people and who never argued. A smile was constantly on their face. For even though their problems and differences, their inner love always shined through. My grandmother was always telling me that it was not necessary to get angry for me to solve a problem, whether it was with a classmate or friend. She was so peaceful, people loved and admired who she was, and she had a lot of friends. I don't recall any case of any of my grandparents having a problem with anyone, but they admired the differences in people's characters. They were not the most educated people, but they knew somehow that people are not holding the same point of views. When everyone is ready and willing to do the work, then we will see the change take place, and we will see more happy couples and families. There are way too many divorces. It is time to reevaluate our perception and look for ways to improve our relationships instead of ending them. There are a lot of problems that stem from trivial things like who will do the laundry, who will take out the trash, who will cook today, who will take care for the children, and the list goes on and on and on. What value do these arguments have? There are no winners in an argument. If it causes pain, then the outcome will be unsuccessful. Nowadays, overworked and consumed by stress, but it doesn't have to be that way. Stress can be managed in a peaceful way. Is this stress that often robs us of enjoying our lives and personal relationships? Relationships, too, can always be improved if there is a desire present for both parties. Life is not about suffering and resentment. It's about enjoyment and fulfillment. People often ask me the following questions. What is the meaning of life? Why are we here on this earth? I wholeheartedly believe the meaning of life is to go after your dreams and create the life you wish to live. This includes the things in your life you value: family, children, happiness. You must take ownership over your life. You're the one who must do the work. Only you can bring meaning to your own life through ambition and persistence. With your efforts and through universal guidance, you'll be rewarded. The alternative is to do nothing. Those are the ones who sit around and do nothing, waiting for the life to happen. This lack of motivation can leave you feeling empty, like you are living in a meaningless life. You have visions of so many things you would like to do or have, but you never take a step to achieve those things. If this is you, it is time to reevaluate your life. It is time to accept the fact that only person responsible for your meaningless life is you, no one else. The answers are in you. You must finally realize that there are two options available for the rest of your life: to continue living the meaningless life and stay in the same place, or to start taking steps to create meaning for your life. When you create a meaningful life, it is important to have a clear picture of what you want out of life. However, it is equally as important to clearly know what you do not want to, so that you will never get lost in the process. It is far too easy to get sidetracked by situations of people that honestly hold little or no value to your life. You may not realize this is at first, but this is how so many of us become lost or end up in the situation where the lack of motivation to change the path there already follow. It is the route of self-destruction where people use drugs or alcohol to hide or cope with their problems. It is so sad to say, but a lot of people lack the motivation to stop what they perceive as helping them instead of causing harm to their existence. Why we are on this earth? We are on this earth to live and enjoy life and fulfill our purpose. I believe that everyone has a purpose from the day they're born. It is pivotal for you to find what your purpose is and how to use it. Some people find their purpose early in life, for others it takes time. I personally struggled in life for years, but it was not in vain. My life thrives and enables me to help others make a similar transformation. Never be above examining yourself to discover what you're doing wrong. Embrace the changes you need to make and do it with luck as your guidance. So as you see, it's not very hard to change your life. There are some rules you have to follow. Don't ever think for yourself that I would never do it, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not the lucky one. There is no such thing in life. Always believe in yourself. Always find the ways to find a peaceful place where you can sit and reevaluate your life and see what you want from life, because the first step to have a happy life and a healthy life and to be the person you should be is to find out what you want from life. There is nothing wrong if you get lost sometimes in your life, because you can always go back on track and start doing what you think makes you happy and what you want to achieve in your life. There is not this is not hard thing to do, and you can always find out who you are and what you want to do by start doing things. And when you start doing things, you will see if you love to do this, if you makes you happy, and if you make your life much easier. And this is very important in our relationship with the people around us also, because when we are unhappy, we are not healthy enough to have a good relationship with the other people around us. This is very important. And we're about 1 minute away to the end of the show, and I hope my book will change the lives of others. And I think it's very important to learn from the experience of others. I've been through so many things in my life, and I was able to cope and change my life and find out who I am even late in my life. So age is just a number. I have to tell you this, and don't get discouraged if you think it's too late in your life and you don't have time to do it, and there is always time to do it. And I want to finish today by telling you that where my book is available, it's available on Amazon.com under Diana Bellaros. You can find it, and the audiobook will be available for you in about a week. And I would like to finish with the song of